This is Jeffrey, JGB146 Blake from Team Level 5, and we are coming to you with the first Team Level 5 meta forecast. Now, you'll see on the screen, we've got a couple people that you may or may not recognize from Team Level 5, and then we've got Clayton Fagan. There's Clayton. Big thumbs up. So, Clayton is not a member of Team Level 5. As much as I've tried, neither is Mimikyu. I've tried to get them both, but hasn't happened yet. Maybe down the line I'll be able to twist some arms. I don't know, but Clayton's pretty sealed into Team Reaper. So, you know. But he's our special guest. We're going to be talking about the Worlds meta and a little bit about some backstory on how people got to Worlds. With that, we'll go ahead and dig in. We'll start off with just basic introductions. Clayton, you want to do the honors and just kind of say hello and whatnot?
Yeah, I'll start us off. My name's Clayton Fagan. I'm from Hot Springs, Arkansas. I represent Team Reaper TCG. Just a group of guys, kind of semi-local. We just kind of a testing group. Just travel together, have a lot of fun. Semi-competitive. We have a YouTube channel if you guys want to check it out. It's a Team Reaper TCG. Also a Facebook page. And yeah, I've been playing for almost 3 years.
Cool. Clayton's links, by the way, are down in the description. What I like to call the doobly-doo.
Awesome.
And okay, Brendan, same thing.
Brendan, I play out of Tampa, Florida. Play level 5, and yeah, just travel around. Went a couple cool places this year to get my World invite.
For those of you who are not that familiar with the team yet, Brendan is what we're calling our A+ team player. So we've got a few different tiers of teams. He's the lowest tier that we have that is actually sponsored. So you'll be seeing a lot of Brendan throughout the year as he goes to events, assuming he does well and stays sponsored. He'll be recording some vlogs for you. We'll be following his progress throughout the season as well. So, but no pressure, Brendan. We've got confidence.
No, of course not.
Enough about that. Let's actually dig into the meat of the content. And first, we're going to start off asking sort of about your seasons this year. Brendan, when did you earn your invite?
It was a real nail biter. I actually didn't start chasing points till January, so I had 20 points in January, and I got my last bit of points in at Nats. I had to day 2, and I had a real run-up schedule. So I got it at Nats, finished with 565.
Wait, so you're saying you got 545 points between January and May?
Yeah, it was really fun. I went even as far as Guatemala to get points. I day 2'd like 6 events in a row or something like that. Like it was, I just turned my season around and actually started chasing for it.
I'm like leading your team, and I didn't realize how well that had gone. That's awesome, dude. I'm glad we sponsored you.
Yeah, no, like Nats, I had to play. Like, I played 4 DDG members. I played against Pedro Torres. Like, I played against like a stacked schedule.
And you still made day 2. That's
yep.
Awesome. All right, Clayton, your time to shine, man.
I got my invite third quarter, day 2 Daytona, and that secured my invite. And I actually secured it on stream against Connor Fenton, which I don't know how they knew that if I won that game that I would have got my invite, but they chose me and Connor because of our father-son camaraderie there. So yeah, we were both 5-1, and they're like, yeah, let's put you guys on stream, and I'm like, I'm playing the worst deck to play against Archie's. I'm like, this is, Buzz Armstrong is pretty much, it's not an auto loss, but it's bad. And I'm like, why would you do this to me? And they're like, come on, let's go. He prized both Blastoise game 1. And then he just, game 2, he goes, Shaman start, attach, pass. And I'm like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? So, yeah, so I got a third quarter. I finished with 643. But after Daytona, I just kind of, I slowed it down because I'd done so much traveling and stuff. Went to Mexico City, went to Panama City, Panama, Yeah, so yeah, all over the United States. So
Nice.
yeah, slowed it down for that, but yeah, so I got it third quarter.
Nice. And that was the event you top 8'd, right?
No, I top 16. I didn't top 8.
16. My
I
bad.
top 16 Dallas.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
Dallas.
Yeah, it's Dallas.
Okay.
Yeah, top 16 Dallas.
My mind's like all over. Okay,
All right.
well, still very cool. And congrats on that. That's
Thank you.
a big finish. Okay, so kind of continuing on with that, we'll start with Clayton. Is there anything else you want to share briefly? I know you've got a lot of stories for us, but can't get into too many of them. But any high notes or any like particular story that you find like the most interesting thing about your season?
Finishing top 16 in Dallas, which is kind of my local regional, was pretty awesome. It definitely helped me secure my invite and actually win money playing Pokemon for the first time. So I was pretty stoked about that. One story about the top 16 though is I don't know if you guys know Ben Cryer. He finished with 549 points and missed his invite by 1 point. He was my round 15 opponent in Dallas. I offered him the ID so we could both top 32. He declined because he thought he had a good matchup against me. And so with that, him declining and I won, I finished 14th and he actually bubbled at 33rd.
Oh.
So if he takes the ID in Dallas, he not only would he have gotten 250, but he would have also got his invite. So that's just one of the stories that I feel like all year I've been pulling for him to get his invite, and then at NAIC, round 9, he was sitting really close to me and stuff, and I was hoping to get paired up against him so I could just scoop to him so he could get his invite. But yeah, so that's kind of a sad story there, but yeah, the Ben Cryer, the meme, the 549 man. He's gonna get it this year though. He's gonna win the Open. So
yeah.
Nice. What about you, Brendan? Any high notes of your season that you want to touch on?
Honestly, like just going from 20 to 565 in 5 months is insane. I don't even care. Like, I hope I do well at Worlds, but like I feel like I've already done like a huge accomplishment for myself as a player. This is my first year going for my invite. And getting it like this is like insane. Going to Guatemala was really interesting. Definitely seeing the different kind of players and everything is just so cool. Going to and really excited for more international travels.
So actually, I'm going to follow up on that note with both of you. How different do you feel like the meta is when you travel to locations outside of the U.S., so Guatemala, Mexico City? Do you feel like the meta changes a lot or no?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, like the last round of my event, I was playing Zoro Control, and I played against Zygarde with 4 Sophocles and a Palpad. Like, I got dumpstered. Yeah, so it was like it's like a little bit all over the place, but it's still like pretty good. Like everyone there is also just super nice. I noticed.
Yeah, everyone's super nice. They're so glad that we came to their country. Like when I went to Panama City, Panama, like they were like, "Oh, we're so glad you're here. This is awesome," And it's like, even though I'm not even a named player at all, they were just like, a few of them knew who I was, and they're just like, "Oh, hey, sign this." And I'm like, this is crazy.
Awesome.
Mexico City is a little bit different because it's a little closer, and of course Pablo is like the big,
Sure.
But yeah, it was cool too. There were more people there, but Panama, it was fantastic. But yeah, the meta, I ran into Baby Charizard, I don't know how many times, and it just bodies that beast.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, this is a bad call.
Yeah, I played against that round 1. Like, and I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready for that.
Yeah, no, it's the meta's way different. Way different. I even saw SB on Garb.
Oh.
I'm like, wait, what year is this?
Yeah, I saw like a Zoro Stable Lock control. I was like, oh, that's interesting.
All right, Brendan, you're up. What had you most excited coming into the new set before you'd done any testing?
Honestly, I like back in the day, I played a lot of Darkrai and stuff. So I'm pretty excited that a dark archetype is coming back, and I love like flipping coins. So super scoop ups are pretty huge for me. Like they're insane. No, I just really like dark Pokemon as a whole. So I'm pretty excited for that.
You might be the only like good competitive player that I've ever heard say, "I love coin flip cards."
Dude, like I love it. I don't hit tails. I don't get what it is. I can't draw this. I get to the head. Like
I hope it's not just that one special die that you have.
oh no, it's like every dice. Like it's insane. I can't draw cards though, so don't expect that. I'm also excited about Reset Stamp because like I really liked the end mechanic. So I just really like Reset Stamp.
I was totally sleeping on Reset Stamp when it first came out. I'm like, man, it's not that good. It's not that good. No, it's better than I thought. It's really good. It's really good. And if you're not playing two of them, you're probably making a mistake.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, you're definitely making a mistake.
Yeah.
It's going, okay, I have game next turn as long as you don't have these cards. Here you go. You have no cards in hand now.
Yeah, exactly. And you have no way to draw cards.
Yeah.
You're like, what are you gonna do? Unless you're playing Naganadel.
Yeah, pretty much. It's insane.
Following on that, you were not, Clayton. You were not excited about Reset Stamp until you tested some. What were you excited about?
Well, I'm kind of if you've ever seen me on stream and you see my deck, then you know that I'm definitely excited about this.
Oh yeah, that's busted.
So
he whips it out to show it off.
Yeah, I had to have it like right here. So yeah. So like I'm excited just about all the secret rare stadiums and stuff. But when it comes to the actual set itself, I was sleeping on the dark. Also, like it is really good, and I haven't tested it, but I've tested against it, and it's really strong. But I was most excited about the Raichu, because I think it just completely changes Pikarom. Like it makes it even stronger. So I'm excited about that. Been testing Pikarom too. So, but yeah, I think the Raichu is probably, in my opinion, the strongest tag team that's come out in the set.
That's fair.
I've argued that from like day 2. I was almost yelling at Brendan and the rest of our testing team.
That's like just baby.
Well, I mean, just good luck getting out of paralysis, unless you're flipping heads on scoop ups.
Oh yeah.
I have the answer now. I understand why Brendan didn't care.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
easy to draw scoop up. Easy.
4 scoop ups. Yeah, I mean, come on, easy game.
Well, I mean, some of my testing, I actually tested against Russell Lepar playing 4 scoop ups on Rukan's whole.
On Fight Club? I need to get involved in Fight Club.
And
I really do.
Same.
In our best of 3, I swear he hit like 6 or 7 out of 8 scoop ups. And I was like, okay, yeah, paralysis is nothing to you. It means you get to heal completely.
Yeah,
that's not cool.
He leaked on our podcast what he's playing for Worlds. I don't know if you guys heard that.
Haven't heard it yet.
So I'll go ahead and because our podcast is coming out today, so this will come out later. Russell Lepar is playing Aerodactyl.
Oh, that's out of left field.
Yeah. He didn't leak any of his list. He said his list is way different than all this other garbage that everybody's coming out with, and those are his exact words.
That sounds like a
it is. But yeah, so he's playing Aerodactyl, and he doesn't care if everybody knows. And he said, "Come at it."
Cool. My favorite deck right now actually is an adjusted version of what I could piece together of the Dark Box deck that Lepar was playing against me. I'm like, okay. I sat down and I sent the list out to everybody on the little fight channel. I was like, this is what I was able to piece together from this Dark Box deck that I played that super owned me.
Right.
And I really like it. And I don't know if anybody else tested it.
It's so good. Like everybody's sleeping on it, and I'm almost to the point. We're 2 weeks out from Worlds, and I'm almost to the point to where it's like, do I need to make a deck change? Because I'm already kind of locked in. But I don't want to do like I did last year. Last year I had second thoughts and changed my deck the night before. Huge mistake. And then I used the deck that I was gonna use for the Open and almost got the two. So
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like, but I was sleeping on Dark also, just like Brendan said. Like, it's just good. Like, it's good to have it back. And there's really not that much fighting except for Aerodactyl.
Yeah, I mean, there's like some like decks that are attacking like Machamp, like that can fit it, but like you don't really care because their numbers aren't that good, and it's scoop ups again. Like, you just fix it easy, and you can knock out Machamp pretty easy.
Yeah, and by the time you get to it, you've got 10 energy attached, and just go ahead and GX for 15 card discard.
Oh, that's a beautiful win condition. I loved it.
Oh my gosh, 15 cards, that's a quarter of your deck.
Oh,
I mean,
it's so good.
You have a quarter of your deck in your hand and your prizes to start. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Following up on that, kind of on a similar note, but rather than just what you were excited about, what cards in general do you think are going to actually have, and this can be one card or a couple of cards, I know we already talked about Reset Stamp, but other than that, not strictly speaking what you're going to play, but just as an overall Worlds meta, what do you envision having the biggest impact if you had to pick one or two cards that aren't Reset Stamp?
Damn. I don't know. There's just like so many like weird cards. Like, I feel like just in the new set, are you saying?
No, not necessarily.
I think Custom Catcher is going to be really good. Just that's always a good thing. Switch. Those cards are huge just because the status conditions are huge.
Sure, yeah. Every time I've seen a list that plays like one or two switching cards and that's it, I'm like, you're done. Like,
yeah. Yeah, no.
Good luck facing Raichu. You're just over.
That's why Super Scoop Up's so good. Just automatic switch.
I have 4 secret rares, by the way, so I'm ready for my scoop ups.
Oh, super free.
What about you?
I would have to say, man, like I said, the Raichu, but being able to switch out. So switch is a good card with rope being rotating and all the stuff rotating. Custom Catcher, I think, is good in certain situations if you can actually find it. If you're playing Greens Engine, then hey, you got it. There you go. Yeah. If you're not playing Greens, you have to draw into it, and you don't want to discard them. I mean, it's just kind of, or if you're, I mean, it's good because if you're stuck and you have a low hand, then you can draw cards.
Yeah.
You definitely don't want to use it to draw cards unless you're just about to just be done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously Stamp, but you said not to mention Stamp. But like I said, I was sleeping on it so much. It's so good. I mean, so
just a little follow on, because you both are talking about switching cards. How do you feel about like a Tate and Liza replacing like one or two of the Cynthias that you might otherwise run?
So I've always hated that card, and I have no idea why. So I feel like I'm biased. Like, ever since I've seen that card, I'm just like, this card is absolutely terrible. And so I've just dismissed it in my brain. But I've tested it recently, and it's not bad. I don't know. It just doesn't feel like enough because you never have it when you want it because there's no way to search supporters. So you're like, cool, I have the draw 5, but when you're paralyzed, you're like, cool, I have this anything else. So it doesn't ever feel good.
Yeah. Tristan's playing 2 of them in his Keldeo GX, so it's pretty good in our testing with that. Like, he's a junior, so we'll see how it goes. But it's good. When it first came out, I was like, it's Shauna with a switch. Like, it's not. If you're using a supporter to switch your active and not switching their active, like with Guzma, it just feels bad because there's so much more you want to do. I feel like if you're playing Tate and Liza and switch, I just don't think there's a reason for that because you just switch. I mean, even though it's hard to get, I mean, you're still wasting your supporter on a switch that you might not even have anything. You know, if they're putting you into paralysis, you probably don't have anything on the bench anyways to bring up to do anything with. So I don't think it's great. Certain decks I could see it maybe as a 1 of or a 2 of, but I don't think it's great.
Okay. Makes sense. All right. Well, let's move on now. We're sort of talking about where I guess we've sort of gone into some of this as well, but we'll go further into the testing mindset, and if you'll each just talk about the decks that you thought were going to be good before you started testing, and then which of those you kind of said, well, maybe not, and which you kind of said, hey, let's do it. Don't give away anything that you don't want to give away, obviously, but let's go. We'll start with you, Clayton.
Okay, so Reshazard Greens is not as good as I thought it was going to be. I don't think it's I mean, with all the healing and everything, you're still not healing it all the way up, and most of the time it's not doing good in my testing. Maybe it's just me. I don't think it's as good as everybody let on. I think people are starting to realize that too. Shedinja, I think Shedinja is a great deck, but it's another one that day one, if you're playing it, you're making a mistake because you're gonna draw out ties, and a tie day one is a loss.
Yeah.
So if there's really no way to speed it up either, because I mean you're just doing what Shedinja things, you know. So it's not. And then probably another one. I don't know. I don't like Flippy, so Brendan will probably like this. But Whimsicott. As much as I like Whimsicott, I don't like Flippy. So
no, I think you have to hit tails on that. I don't think I can do that.
Oh, it is tails. That's right.
I can do that.
So yeah, so those are the decks that I just don't think are as good as people are like letting on that they're gonna be.
Sure. Brendan, what about you?
So I'm actually gonna go like kind of the opposite way. I didn't think Shedinja was good. I thought it was gonna be a really, really strong, but I really found out reset stamp just really kind of messes that deck over sometimes. Because there's sometimes where you have to break the lock, and then you just don't have enough cards. Like, and if you draw too many, they get stamped you and just win the game. And I feel like it's easily played around, and I think people are actually kind of teching for it, and it's really easy to tech for, unfortunately. And it's going to get a lot of ties. So I thought it was going to be really good. Then when I tested in this format, I was like, oh, sounds good as I thought. And then I actually think Reshazard's been testing really well, but I also draw really well with the deck. So, I mean, that's...
Well, and spoilers, you're using the list that I know about, right? So it's not running greens.
Yeah, I've been testing that one, and then I've also been testing the green, Reshazard green. Like, I've tested both. I like both a lot right now.
Oh, okay. So
yeah,
just like disagree with half of Clayton's answer. I got it.
No, two-thirds.
Hold on, I'm gonna add my own thing. I didn't think Dark Box was gonna be this good.
Okay.
Honestly, that's insane. And then Mewtwo seems a little underhyped. That's just my opinion. I thought it was gonna be like actually like the best card, and then it's just
it's man.
Yeah, it's like it was really disappointing, to be honest.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that you think it's pretty easy for any deck to tech against Shedinja. Do you want to elaborate just a little, give people a nugget of here's what you do?
Yeah, like honestly,
Wondrous Labyrinth.
Yeah, that's pretty good tech. Oranguru,
Oranguru Faba.
Oh yeah, Faba. Yeah. Like, there's so many cards that you can just put one card in the deck and you just win the game. You can Tyranitar GX it.
Oh.
Yeah, free. Yeah, so I feel like there's just so many techs, and you can they just run out of everything, honestly.
Gotcha. The thing that put me over the top, one of our players, Nate Kirksey, who shout out, got his master's invite in 3/4, or I'm sorry, his senior's invite in 3/4 of play. He was big on Shed Ninja, and then I was playing a deck that played a 1 of the new Aerodactyl GX. And it like the same thing as Wanderer's Labyrinth, right?
It locks it out, yeah.
And he was just like, okay, well, I can't do anything.
If you can't resource management, then you just lose.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. I haven't done that matchup, but that's hilarious.
Alrighty, so we're gonna go on a little bit of a downturn now. Get a little sad, but we'll finish on a high note, I promise. I know that y'all are gonna just go 1, 2. I'm not dictating the order, but that's what's gonna happen. Unless the fates look down upon us all. And that doesn't happen. So I know your personal goals are always to win, right? But if that doesn't happen, what do you feel like would define a successful performance for you? I guess we'll start with Brendan on this one.
Well, as I said, like I went through a very long season where I just barely made my invite, but like I just really grinded for it. So honestly, just making the Worlds, like I've already reached my goal for the season. So I honestly really want to make day 2. Like I feel like that's my personal goal, just because I have day 2 to every big event since I've like started like performing. So I really want a day 2 Worlds, like, but like I feel like I've already met my goal, so I won't be disappointed how I do. Like I obviously want to do very well, but I'm already good with where I am, you know?
Okay, cool. Is that sort of your expectation to maybe make day 2 and
yeah,
see how
like
things go?
Yeah, kind of. Like I've definitely put a lot of testing into it, like I know everyone else has. I definitely just I want to make day 2. That's my expectations. But if I don't, I'm also not going to be like heartbroken in a bar somewhere, you know?
Okay. Clayton, same set of questions, I guess. What is your personal like expectation for Worlds, and then what would define a successful performance short of winning?
So this is my second consecutive Worlds in the 2 seasons that I've been trying for my invite. So last year, I was just super stoked that I made it. I had to top 256 in IAC last year, which was the biggest event I want to say ever at the time. And I was on that top 512 train, but we didn't get quite 1600, so I had to top 256. So I got my invite last year. I was just super stoked about that. This year, I just wanted day 2. I think that I would be, now don't get me wrong, like I said, I'd love to win.
Sure.
But I feel like if I don't day 2, that it would be kind of a, you know, not a disappointing season, but it would be disappointing because I've been here. And so it's kind of like if you're a team that's going to the Super Bowl or going to the World Series, you know, when you get there, oh, that's awesome. You know, you didn't win it, but you got there. I've been there. So now it's time to, you know, go to the next step and day 2.
Sure,
and,
sure.
You know, it's definitely not going to be easy. Day 2ing an event's not easy, especially when these are the best players in the world. So it's, but I'm super excited about it. But yeah, so my goal is definitely day 2.
Cool. If you don't make day 2, like, are you already registered for the Open as a backup plan, or did you just say, nope, I'm gonna do it and not even try?
Yes, I got lucky to be in the Open last year because they really, I think TPCI or whoever set this up this year did a really good job because there was so much craziness last year to be able to get into the Open or not be able to get into the Open. I guess I hit the button at the right time to be able to get in. I mean, it was literally as the clock struck, I guess it was 8 o'clock last year. I was able to get in and it filled up within like, I want to say like 30 seconds that it was full. So I got lucky to be able to get in last year. And this year I like it because they went ahead and 100% opened it for everybody to get in, that's going to get in, had plenty of time. And if you're a day 1 competitor and you make day 2, then they are going to give you a refund for day 2. So yes, I'm registered, but I hope I'm not playing in it.
Yeah, I've got pretty much the same answer. I'm registered because there's literally no reason not to. Like, they've set up so well where if you don't need it, you get your money back. But if you do need it, it's there. Like, it's just a very well done system this year. Last year was really hectic. I'm glad. Well, I mean, I wasn't competing in Worlds, so I guess that wasn't that great. But I signed up beforehand, but I knew, like, everyone I was sitting next to is like, yeah, I played in Worlds last year. I barely made it. I have a bunch of friends that didn't make it, and I was like, oh, well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's chaos.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we're going to shift into the portion of the show that I'm going to affectionately refer to as the Seagrove portion. So
shout out Seagrove.
Yeah, definitely. Shout out to Seagrove. He and I did a lot of work together prior to me moving over to level 5.
Nice.
And so now this is a Seagrove style video. We're going to end it on a Seagrove style note. And I'm going to say, without disclosing what you intend to play, what do you think the best deck that you will not be playing at Worlds is, and why? Go ahead and start with Brendan on this one.
I want to say, as much as I play Pikarom all the time, like that. I've played at so many regionals and have great success. I probably will not play it because it's just so hyped and so tech for. I feel like, and it's just everyone's prepared to play it against it. You know, like I feel like it's probably one of the better decks in the format, but it's just I will not play it because it's just way too important and prepared for.
Sure. All right, I guess Clayton will go to you. Best deck that you will not play at Worlds.
Mine's actually the same. I was gonna say Pikarom. I've played it some in this last format. I like it, and I really like it going forward. And I'll probably play it at some cups upcoming after Worlds. But I think for Worlds that it's so overhyped. Like, not even overhyped. I mean, it's worth the hype it's getting.
Yeah.
But like Brendan said, everybody's teching for it. Like, everybody's going to be prepared for it. And if you're not testing half your matches against Pikarom, then you're probably making a mistake because you're going to see it. I would, if I had to guess, if there's 8 rounds, you'll probably see at least 2 or 3 rounds. I think that's how heavy it'll be.
Sure.
But yeah, so I'm not going to be playing Pikarom.
Okay. On a similar note, what deck do you want to make sure you do not lose to? And we may all be saying Pikarom again. I don't know. All right. I guess excluding Pikarom now, since we've covered that, what deck other than Pikarom do you want to make sure you don't lose to? Clayton.
I'm not going to lose to Shedinja. So even though it might not get played, I'm still not taking my chances on that. So I have the techs I have that for the deck I'm probably playing. They're useful in other matchups too. So
sure.
But yeah, I'm definitely 100% will not lose to Shedinja.
Okay, cool. Brendan, what about you?
Honestly, Shedinja is definitely an easy one to tech for that you don't want to lose to. But for difference of opinion, I'll say probably Reshizard would be my next one, just because I feel like that's kind of underhyped, and I feel like it'd actually be there a lot with all the heals and everything, with the greens and everything. I think it's pretty good. But I don't want to lose to that.
Okay, makes sense. Final note or question, and then we'll wrap things up for today. What are your top 3 decks without disclosing any secrets? So if you have to say 3 of your top 4, I guess, for Worlds, what name 3 of your top 4 decks. Don't say your secret deck if you have a secret deck. We'll go in reverse order, so we'll start with Brendan. Top 3 decks for Worlds, excluding what you're probably playing.
Okay, so what I think is the best 3, or what I'm considering. I think the best 3, as we said, Picarom's going to be really good. Like, I'm not considering playing it, but it's definitely going to be the best deck there. Bresh's Greens and probably Dark Box. Like, those are the 3 best in my opinion. And probably Malamar, which we haven't talked about at all in the podcast.
At all.
Which seems really weird, right? Because Malamar with Tina Chomp and everything.
Malamar's insane. Like, that is so good right now. But we haven't talked about it at all, I feel like.
Yeah, that's a disservice to Malamar, I think. I agree.
Yeah, it's definitely I feel like it's the most consistent deck in the format, actually. It just sets up the same thing every time. Like, it doesn't matter what the matchup is, it does the same thing every time.
So on that note, we're going to add an additional question, but we'll get to it. Clayton, your top 3 decks excluding what you plan to play.
Well, so Picarom definitely number 1. I mean, I think there's no doubt about that. It's just so fast and just being able to grab what you want. I mean, whenever, with the radars and everything else, I mean, it's just so fast. I would probably say Malamar variants are number 2, and there's so many different variants and so many techs you can use for Malamar, and I am leaning towards and 95% probably playing Malamar.
Oh.
I'll come out and say it.
Coming right out with it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, what are you gonna tech for me? I mean, come on. I maybe, but we're not at a League Cup right now. This is World Championship, so there's going to be 700 players or 600 players. So no, I am probably playing Malamar. Now, when it comes to my techs and different variants of it, I'm leaning towards Ultra right now, just as a one of, just to be able to kind of sweep the board if I can spread some damage around. I really like Espeon Deoxys though. I think it's super good too. And then, a few other techs and everything. Rangaroo Faba is kind of what I'm playing against Shedinja, because, I mean, they really, can't do anything against that. So, and then I guess third is probably, it's either going to be Dark Box or Reshazard Greens. I would probably put Dark Box ahead right now because of just some of the stuff when testing against it and everything. And that's, like I said, that's a deck that I was totally sleeping on when we first started testing. And like, it is just, the more I see it, the more people have perfected it, and other people take that perfection and make it even better. I mean, it's just like right now, it's just insane. So, but yeah, so that's my definitely top 4.
So final note, just to put some more Malamar content in here.
Let's go.
Talk to me about your top 2 variants of Malamar if you've tested it, and what. I guess we'll just say, talk to me about a variant that no one's talked about yet. Clayton already talked some about his, so we're gonna make him do the hard job of finishing us off.
Okay.
But Brendan, what do you think? What variant do you like?
I mean, I really like the Ultra going forward. I think it's really strong. Like as he was saying, like you can just fit so much stuff in there, and you can just finish off the game with the GX tech. It's so good in this format, I feel like. And also, like, if you just need to knock out something strong, you can just really quickly set up an Ultra Necrozma, just blow up the Charizard in front of you, and it's really not that hard. Or Picarom or whatever. It's really good. And just spell tags are really strong with no field blow or anything. Like putting up a Giratina in front of them and just going spell tag is just super strong. So I feel like heavy spell tags have been really good.
Okay. And Clayton, we're going to twist the question around just a little bit for you.
Okay.
Since you already sort of answered the actual question I posed.
Right.
So we've got the variant that you already talked about, and then there's sort of the like centered around Chomp variant, and then there's the like almost straight
psychic.
Yeah, straight psychic focused on Baby Giratina variant. Which of those 2 do you like better, and why?
I don't like Tina Chomp. It's good to a point. It hasn't been testing well for me. I don't like just having the fighting energy and stuff, and even though it's kind of the same as Ultra, but I think with Tina Chomp you have to focus on Tina Chomp only. And you can have the baby Giratina do some work, but I think I like the Psychic version better than the Tina Chomp, but to me, the Ultra, basically what I'm playing the baby Giratina with spell tags I'm only just teching in 1 Ultra and 2 Metal Energies. Like I said, I can treasure for it. It slaps. I mean, it just, all of a sudden comes out of nowhere. Mimikyu is busted. I mean, you just come in and just hit with it and just out of nowhere. And even if they knock out a Malamar with custom catchers, you're only going to be able to do that twice. So attach return on Mimikyu, 1 Malamar, and then you just hit him right back. So I mean, it's Ultras is my favorite. I think that Psychic's probably 2, and then Tina Chomp's 3. So.
Okay. Cool.
Spell tag's busted.
It really is.
All right. Yeah. Well, with that, we're going to wrap things up for today.
Awesome.
Thank you guys, all of you, for making it on the show.
Yep.
And we're going to close with shout-outs, of course. Clayton, if you want to start us off as our guest, you get the first block of shout-outs.
Okay, yeah, so shout out Team Reaper TCG. Check us out on YouTube. Find us on Facebook. We just have a lot of some competitive content, and then just some fun stuff like vlogs and product opening and stuff. Shout out to my son Tristan. He's working really hard to try to win some games this year at Worlds. Last year he didn't win a game at Worlds, so he's trying really hard this year to win a game. That's his goal. Also shout out to all my teammates and stuff on Team Reaper that have been helping me test for Worlds and everything. Been working really hard, and so hope I'm able to day 2. And and shout out to you guys at the Team Level 5, and especially you, Jeffrey, for working so hard and trying to get everything turned around for you guys, and all your stuff you're doing up in the Tulsa area as well.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Brendan, do you want to give some shout-outs?
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to Team LV5 for the sponsorship. Thank you. Shout out to Jeff for this awesome video. Link in the description. We got cool Patreon things. You should check them out. Then shout out to my team I test with all the time in my local area. I live with all my testing mates, so that's pretty dope. And then hopefully do this again.
Yeah, definitely. Cool. Okay. Last thing I'm just going to throw out there. We appreciate it if you like this video. If you click that like button down there. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff this year. So if you can click the subscribe button, you won't miss any of it. There's kind of a mix of content that we're going to be putting out. As Brendan mentioned, we do have links down in the doobly-doo for our Patreon. We got some neat perks there. If you're not familiar, we are sort of taking over the Poke Beach monthly tournament, so you can actually play on PTCGO.
Nice.
For real prizes. Like I bought a booster box of Unified Minds, got it pre-ordered, it arrived yesterday, and that's the prizing for the July tournament. We're going to be sending out packs from that, doing it again every month. It's always going to be the newest set from the day that we can get it. So we're starting the August tournament the day after Worlds. So we're waiting to require people to send in their deck lists until after they see how things do at Worlds, so they can net deck if they want. But yeah, it's going to be Unified Minds format, post rotation, everything good to go. So join the tournament. $5 entry fee if you want physical, access to physical prizes. Otherwise, you can play for free and just get PTCGO packs. With that, we're going to go ahead, wrap things up. I appreciate everybody's time. I appreciate you guys out there watching and contributing. And if you leave comments, I'll answer anything that you address generically. And if you want something answered by a specific person that's been on the show, just, address it to them. I'll make sure that they get the question and either answer it themselves or I'll tell you what they answered to me, one way or the other. With that, we're going to go ahead and sign off. This has been Jeffrey, JGB 14-6 Blake for Team Level 5. See you later.